What if stress is aging your brain faster? Not emotionally, biologically. What if years of chronic stress are quietly changing your memory, your focus, your emotional stability, your brain's ability to recover? Because stress is not just a feeling. Stress is a biological signal, and when that signal never truly stops, the brain changes. Slowly, quietly, over time. Most people think stress is temporary, a bad week, a difficult season, something emotional. But chronic stress changes the body physically, especially the brain. When stress hormones remain elevated too long, the brain shifts priorities. It focuses on survival, protection, immediate response, not long-term repair, not deep recovery, not emotional balance. Cortisol is the main stress hormone. In short bursts, it's protective, useful, necessary. But chronic cortisol exposure creates a different environment inside the brain. What happens over time? Inflammation increases, sleep quality decreases, recovery weakens, energy stability changes, and the brain slowly becomes less resilient. One of the most stress-sensitive areas of the brain is the hippocampus, the region involved in memory, learning, emotional regulation. Chronic stress can reduce efficiency in this area over time, which is why people under prolonged stress often experience forgetfulness, mental fatigue, difficulty concentrating. Why people ignore the signs? Because the changes are gradual. You don't suddenly wake up feeling cognitively older. The sharpness slowly fades. Stress also affects another region, the amygdala, the brain's threat detection system. What chronic stress does? The brain becomes more reactive, more sensitive to stress, more hypervigilant, which means small stressors feel larger over time. The survival brain loop. Stress leads to heightened alertness. Heightened alertness leads to poor sleep. Poor sleep leads to more stress reactivity. More stress leads to more inflammation. And the cycle strengthens itself. The human brain evolved for temporary stress, physical danger, recovery periods. But modern stress is psychological, constant, relentless. The brain never fully recovers. Notifications, deadlines, financial pressure, information overload. The nervous system remains partially activated, almost constantly. This ages the brain because recovery is essential for resilience. Without recovery, inflammation accumulates, hormonal rhythms destabilize, cellular stress increases, and the brain biologically ages faster. Deep sleep is when the brain repairs, detoxifies, resets, but chronic stress disrupts deep sleep quality. The result? The brain experiences more stimulation, less recovery, more stress signaling, and less repair. Year after year, chronic stress also increases inflammatory activity and inflammation affects neural communication, energy production, memory systems, and brain flexibility. Stress-related inflammation affects emotional regulation, which is why chronic stress often creates emotional exhaustion, irritability, mental heaviness, and anxiety. Stress also affects metabolism. Elevated cortisol changes, blood sugar regulation, insulin sensitivity, and energy stability. And unstable metabolism further stresses the brain. Modern humans feel so mentally tired because modern life creates chronic stimulation, poor recovery, metabolic overload, inflammation, and sleep disruption, all at the same time. The brain was not designed for this. Human biology evolved around movement, natural light, community, rhythm, and periods of calm. Modern life removes many of those recovery systems. People often describe brain fog, mental fatigue, low patience, reduced focus, or feeling emotionally flat. These are not random experiences. They are biological signals. The biggest mistake people make is they normalize chronic stress. They assume this is adulthood, this is success, this is modern life. But chronic nervous system overload is not healthy adaptation. It's chronic biological strain. The good news is the brain is adaptive. Stress-related changes are not always permanent. Recovery signaling matters. Sleep matters. Metabolic stability matters. Calm matters. What the brain actually needs is not perfection, but recovery opportunities. Stillness, deep sleep, stable rhythms, reduced overload. The brain heals through consistency. Every calm breath, every better night of sleep, every reduction in stimulation, every moment of recovery changes the nervous system gradually. Because stress is cumulative. The brain remembers chronic environments, and years of overload change hormonal signaling, inflammation, recovery systems, and brain resilience. Stress is not only affecting how you feel emotionally, it may be physically reshaping the aging brain itself. And modern life may be keeping millions of brains in survival mode far longer than human biology was designed to handle. Right now, your brain is adapting to stress, to sleep quality, to stimulation, to overload, and the patterns repeated daily become the biology the brain lives inside. Because the question is not, does stress affect the brain? The question is, how many years has the brain been adapting to chronic survival? Comment below. What do you think damages the brain more over time? Stress, poor sleep, or overstimulation? Because in the final video of this series, we're bringing everything together into a complete hormone reset system for brain longevity.